Hello, welcome to lesson 20. I am determined to see. We have been quite casual about our practice periods thus far. There have been virtually no attempt to direct the time for undertaking them. Minimal effort has been required, and not even active cooperation and interest have been asked. This approach has been intentional and very carefully planned. We have not lost sight of the crucial importance of the reversal of your thinking. The salvation of the world depends on it. Yet you will not see if you regard yourself as being coerced, and if you give in to resentment and opposition. This is our first attempt to introduce structure. Do not misconstrue it as an effort to exert force or pressure. You want salvation. You want to be happy. You want peace. You do not have them now because your mind is totally undisciplined, and you cannot distinguish between joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, love, and fear. You are now learning how to tell them apart, and great indeed will be your reward. Your decision to see is all that vision requires. What you want is yours. Do not mistake this little effort that is asked of you for an indication that our goal is of little worth. Can the salvation of the world be a trivial purpose? And can the world be saved if you are not? God has one Son, and he is the resurrection and the life. His will is done because all power is given him in heaven and on earth. In your determination to see is vision given you. The exercises for today consist of reminding yourself throughout the day that you want to see. Today's idea also tacitly implies the recognition that you do not see now. Therefore, as you repeat the idea, you are stating that you are determined to change your present state for a better one, and one you really want. Repeat today's idea slowly and positively, at least twice an hour, attempting to do so every half hour. Do not be distressed if you forget to do so, but make a real effort to remember. The extra repetitions should be applied to any situation, person, or event that upsets you. You can see them differently, and you will. What you desire, you will see. Such is the real law of cause and effect as it operates in this world. And that's the end of lesson 20. I am determined to see. This undertaking would be a bit like deciding that you're finally going to commit to the exercise program or the healthy diet, or you're going to stop smoking once and for all. There comes a moment when the desire to change something, when the discomfort is greater than the comfort of whatever it is we're doing. And so, people get to a place where they're 40, 50, 60 pounds overweight, and they step on the scale one day and they're so tired of being filled with angst and dismay when they stand on the scale that they just make that decision to change. You may find that you are smoking a cigarette and you have the understanding all of a sudden that you are not enjoying any of it, that it's not bringing you anything but discomfort, expense, illness, whatever. And you make that choice. And that is the moment that you can commit to actually making the changes that you want. Even if you've tried 100 times before, you make a commitment to yourself and you approach things very differently. You invest in yourself from that moment on. Being determined to see is much like that. I am determined to see that there is another way of perceiving this world that can bring me peace. I am determined to see. If you are looking for something in the darkness and you really can almost make out some kind of shadow, you're going to be determined to see. You're going to focus all of your energies on seeing things. Use that for today's lesson. I am determined to see, even if you don't really know what that entails right now. And so let's go to what Jesus says about this through Tina Spalding. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. It is an important lesson, this one. You are convinced that you can see. You are convinced that you know exactly what's going on in the world. You are convinced you know exactly what's right and what's wrong and what should be and what should not be. You are arrogant in that belief, for you are not qualified to make that determination. I am determined to see means you are humble in your acknowledgement that you may not be able to see right now, and that gives you negative emotional feedback from your guidance system. If you look at something, a situation, a person, a place, a thing, and you feel strong negative emotion, you do not see it correctly. Because you come from the ego's judgmental and narrow focus, your very limited experience with and understanding of spirituality and spiritual principles causes you to assume you know what it means. You do not. That is what your negative emotional feedback will tell you, that you are looking at it incorrectly. You have no choice currently on how to look at something. You have been trained to believe certain rigid rules about your current experience that you call reality. Those have been placed in your mind by other beings, generally speaking, although you can come into this incarnation with leftovers from other incarnational experiences. So, what you use to try and determine whether what you see is good or bad is a hodgepodge of many different ideas. We seek through these lessons to align you with love so that you do not war with the world you see. That is where most of you find yourselves, in a constant state of judgment, fear, and anxiety about survival. You worry what will happen in the future and about your relationships and what they mean. The idea of being determined to see is a wonderful, powerful statement to the universe that you know you do not see things clearly. You can tell because you're not happy and at peace all the time. That is your message system telling you so. You may begin to get the idea that now we will push you a little bit more to pay more attention to what goes on in your mind. You will fail at times. You will get frustrated at times. The ego mind will say, let us stop these silly lessons. That is why we do this now. It is very important for you to really grasp this year that the outside world is not where you should look for your safety and your happiness. You must look inside and look there in your connection to spirit, in your connection to all that is. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we will see you again tomorrow. All right, we must look at our connection to all that is, our connection inside. As we see life continuing to create very disruptive ideas of what reality is, it is so important for us to take this lesson, to go inside and be determined to see things through our inner vision rather than through our external vision. And it will help us to change the world that we see. It will help to change the collective consciousness of the world. If you want to see more peace, more health, more love, more light, as you look out onto your world, these lessons are critical. And so I encourage you to really begin to make the commitment and determine to see things newly. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.